Welcome to the 2025 Tim Selinske's U.S. Masters Disc Golf Championships. This is going to be covered for the MA50 division, and I'm your narrator, Ernest Trevino, who also played this week. So day one, we actually played on Grindstone Disc Golf Course. Day two was Alto Lake Disc Golf Course. Day three, we went to the Oso Canyon, and the final day was at Grindstone if you qualified. So as of round three, our leaders are Gary Collier at -2, Eric Triplehorn at -2, Gordon Wadispool at -1, and Ron Sanders at +1. We had a good lead card. I was able to play with two of the guys. So we're coming up to hole number one. It is a par 3, 335 feet. You do have out of bounds on the left, the right, and also long. And it has a gradual elevation downhill. First up, we got Gary Collier. He has a good throw. He ends up going slightly to the right.
Next up on the number one tee, we have Eric Triplehorn out of Yuma, Colorado.
Come on, Eric.
Now, Eric Triplehorn, he did have like different styles of throwing. He's like ambidextrous. Right here he's throwing left-handed. Of course, he throws right-handed. He throws overhand. He does sidearm.
Next up on the number one tee, we have Gordon Wadispool out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Let's go, Gordon.
Gordon throws a high overhand.
Next up on the number one tee, we have Ron Sanders out of Carrollton, Texas.
Let's go, Ron.
Ron throws to the right side. So on day one, I was able to play with both Gordon and Ron. Eric throws it up, parks it. Ron second shot, he also throws up and parks it. We got Gary here. Nice little toss up, gets it close, parks it. Gordon, that's where he ended up, and there's Gordon's first birdie. We got a par there for Eric, a par for Ron, and also we're going to end up having a par there for Gary. So, good first hole for them all. After hole one, Gordon now has -2 for the event, Gary's -2 for the event, Eric's -2, and Ron is also +1. Hole two, we have a par 3, 379 feet with OB to the left and the right. Gordon's first on the box. Looks like he had an early release. If you watch his disc fly, it does appear to go out of bounds. Gary's on the box now, and he throws that overhand throw, the roller. You'll see that Gary's going to use that throw throughout the 18 holes. And we got Eric, overhand throw. And then we got Ron now. Ron used that same disc on day one when we played here at Grindstone. And he had a great shot on that day as well. So he's good with that disc. Gary's second throw, throws it up. Has a little flare kick. Going toward the basket. Good throw.
Bounced up and kind of went over the road.
And now we have the guys right here. They're actually talking about where they think the actual disc went out of bounds. So as a card, they're deciding, and they're going to let Gordon know where they think it went out of bounds. Gordon marks it, and he throws his disc, and he has a bad throw. It looks like he might have been trying to skip it, but there's rocks and pine cones all over the place. Eric throws it up. He gets it close. Gordon throws it, gives it a run. Doesn't make it. And we got Ron for his birdie putt. Ching! Makes his birdie putt. Good throw for Ron right there. Nice long birdie putt. Get Eric to get it in there first par. And Gary, also for his par. And with that miss right there, Gordon ends up having a triple bogey. Not what he wanted to start the event or the round with. So now we have hole number 3. This is a 308 par 3. We do have OB left and right. And so these guys are getting ready to throw from their tee box. Ron throws it down. Gets a really good skip in that ground there. And then he's kind of worried. Not sure if he went out of bounds. He was talking with the guys about that. Gary has a throw, hits the first tree. Eric throws, keeps it low. He has a skip. Doesn't get that far down there though. We got Gordon. Gordon throws, hits that tree, has a bad deflection off that tree, and it does push him out of bounds. Gary's second throw. Gets it closer. Eric has a nice second toss-up. Gordon looks like he was trying to go for it there, but he does get it to sit down nicely up on top of that little hill. And Ron went for that birdie putt and missed, but he'll have a par. Gary has a par. Eric also gets his par. Gordon, he ended up having a bogey hit out of bounds. And Ron has his par as well. So Gordon ended up with a bogey with the OB penalty. Ron has a par. Eric par, Gary par. Ron missed that birdie putt. Otherwise, he would have had a nice 2 birdies in a row. So as we move on now, hole number 4. This is a par 3, 329 foot. It's actually more, it seems like a slight slant to the right instead of that left as the diagram showed. Ron's first up. Sends it down the middle and unfortunately hits a tree. Gary sends it down and hits a tree. So you do have 2 lines that you can go down right here. You can kind of see them. Eric does the overhand throw. That's a nice little flex on it, but he kind of goes down into that little side slope. And we've got Gordon. He really tried to get the roller going, and it appeared that he had like just a bad contact with one of the trees and it pushed him far right. Gary throws it up. Save their roll to the side. Ron second shot, throws, and another tree. Well, these trees have no mercy. And Gordon hits a tree. Gordon tosses it up, and he gets it in the clear. He'll have a putt from there. We got Eric over there on the side for his second shot. Nice little toss up, and gets it to sit. Gary tosses it up, has a putt. Gordon makes his putt from there. Gordon ends up with a bogey. Ron also ends up with a bogey. Eric has a par. And Gary here is going to have a bogey. So those trees really affect you. So we got Eric with even, Ron even, Gary 1, Gordon 4. So we will move on now to hole number 5. It is a par 3, 412 feet. And these guys are going to give it a go. There's out of bounds on the opposite side of the road. First up on the box, we got Mr. Eric. Overhand throw. During the tournament, he said he kind of slipped on that tee box right there. Ron throws it again. And he goes straight, similar to the round that we played together. Gary throws his roller. Can't really see it, but he kind of ends up over there in the same direction where Ron was at. They were both worried about being out of bounds.
How you doing?
And then Gordon,
Absolutely.
he lines one down the middle, and it kind of just cuts hard and comes back to the left. Gary throws it up, get in position for his putt. And both of these guys, they were not out of bounds. They were just shy of being out of bounds, but they're still in. So they get a meter to be able to get a better stance. Gary throws it up. He's set there for a putt. And now we have Ron.
Yep.
Ron has a good toss up. He's right under the basket. And you see Gordon in the far side. Gordon pitches it up there. And Gordon also will have a par putt. Eric with the par. Gary with the par. Gordon gets a par. And so does Ron. So as we move on to hole number 6, I wanted to get a different angle, so I started just kind of climbing up the hill. And hopefully you do not hear me breathing hard, but I was trying to get there before these guys were teeing off, and the other chase car teed off as well. So this hole number 6 is a par 3, 228 feet. OB is the road, so you do have to throw it over the road, which shouldn't be a problem at all. So Eric throws his overhand throw, drops down, sets nicely instead of rolling back down the hill. Next up we got Ron. Ron throws a nice one. Here it comes in the screen now and just parks it behind the basket. Gary has a really nice throw as well, and he kind of goes off to the left side of the basket, pin high. And the next one to throw is going to be Gordon. Throws forehand. He's probably about 20 feet away. So Eric goes ahead and just throws it up. Gordon's next for his birdie putt.
Good putt, Gordy.
And Gordon makes his birdie. Next up we have now Mr. Gary. Gary hit the chains just right, but we had like winds coming in and out through there.
That's been the
And
wind.
it appeared that the way he threw it and the disc went nose up, it actually was caught by the wind and it was pushed out of the basket. Unfortunate for Gary.
The wind kept it.
So Eric makes his par, and now got Ron, who also makes a birdie. So Gordon birdied, Ron birdied, Eric and Gary both parred this hole. Now we're going to be moving on to hole number 7. Hole number 7 is a 319-foot par 3. We do have out of bounds to the right and also long to the left. First up is Ron. Ron throws. It has pretty good speed on it, and it appears that he was fortunate enough to hit that tree to stop him, to keep him from going out of bounds. Now we got Gordon. Gordon's going to throw a forehand throw.
That was definitely
He too hits the tree, and it kicks him to the left. Eric's up next. And he does that overhand throw, has a little flex on it. He gets down there.
That's a good one.
Now we have Gary.
Roll down the hill, roll down the hill, roll down the...
And Gary flexes and this comes up short. Ron throws it up for a second shot. Nice throw. Same with Gordon. Forehand throw, comes in, hits, and it kind of stays right there where it lands. And we have Gary that tosses it up as well. Now this is a birdie putt for Eric, and he just misses his birdie putt. We got Gordon going in for his par. And Ron also makes his par. Eric makes his par. And Gary the same. Gary's also going to make his par here. So we got Ron now for the round -1, Eric even, Gary +1, Gordon +3. And we move on now to hole number 8. Hole number 8 is a par 3, 327 feet. It's actually a pretty straight shot. The basket is kind of behind some pine trees down there at the end. You have several lanes to pick from here. Gordon throws and it goes down that center lane. And it flares to the left just a little bit. He was actually looking really good right there. And now we got Mr. Gordon. He's going to throw another forehand again. Oh, he hits that first little pencil tree, and unfortunately it kicks him to the right. Eric throws it down. Nice little hyzer throw. Sets back nicely. Gary's up next. Looks like Gary pulled that one, and it just went down. Fortunately, it did not hit any trees. It just wasn't high enough at all. Gordon's second throw, he had a good one. He gets up there. Gary with his second throw, the same. There we go, Eric with his birdie putt, and just short. Looks like he hit the actual basket. Ron, he also goes for it too. He misses birdie putt. Gordon makes his par putt. Ron was telling me afterward, he was kind of worried about that tree right there to the left of the basket in picture. He says, man, I was kind of worried about hitting that tree. But he gave it a run. Unfortunately, he did not get that birdie, just like Eric. But all the guys here, they all ended up getting par on this hole. Okay. Now for the event total, now Ron is even for the event. Eric is a -2, Gary -1, Gordon is a +2. So it's still pretty close. It could be anybody's game. Par 3, number 9. Par 3, 337 feet. There is out of bounds. It's a very tight, small out of bounds. We still have Ron on the tee box first. He throws it down. Pierces that little opening. Kind of skips up there. You see it there. Hit the trees. Kind of stop. Next up we got Mr. Gordon. Throws a forehand. And I think he hit a tree, I believe, again. And it kind of falls and drops. You can see the frustration on his face, which is understandable. Now we have Eric. He'll be throwing that overhand throw again. There you go. He hits and it bounces up and to the right. Gary's up next. Nice smooth throw. And then it actually just falls to the left. It's open down there though for him. You can see it's a slight walk down. The out of bounds is where the caddy is walking across right there. You see the flags. Next up we got Gordon. He does another forehand throw. Nice and smooth and gets it up there. He'll be putting from there. Gary throws another roller. Gary likes those rollers. Okay, we got Eric, their second shot. Just gets it up there, tosses it down. He'll get ready for a par. His putt. We got Ron. Looks like he's trying a little forehand flick and just get it up there. Goes a little bit long, but he still has a putt. Now we're to the far right. We got Gary. He's getting ready to putt from where he's at. And Gary misses. We got Ron. Ron makes his par. Gordon also makes his par putt. Gary ends up with a bogey on this hole. And Eric has a par. So at the end of the first 9 holes, the final round score, +2 for Gary, Eric even, Gordon +3, Ron -1. You see it there. As far as for the tournament total, Gary's at even, Eric is at -2 still. He was a par round, par front 9. Gordon is at +2, and Ron is at even for the tournament. So it's been a good first round so far. Excuse me, front 9. And now we are moving on to hole number 10. This is a par 3, 381 feet uphill throw. So now we will start climbing Grindstone Mountain. Ron's still on the box. He gets a throw down there, and you're going to see like there's probably some wind that picked that disc up and pushed it to the left. Next up is Gordon. Gordon's going to throw backhand. He throws it. Looks like he doesn't like his throw. Probably initially just took off and went too high, and it crashed hard up there on the top. Eric is next. And Eric throws. Looks pretty good, but actually it just crashes hard to the left as well. It just seemed like all of our discs were just crashing left and pretty fast too. Now Gary there, he throws, seems like an Anheuser throw to kind of play a little flex route. And it works pretty good. He gets there in the fairway in the middle. First one up. Eric tosses it up. Looks like he's a short though. Next is Gary. He kind of goes over to the right, gets under that tree. And there's Gordon. Gordon tosses it up nice. He'll have a good putt there for par. And we got Ron. He's giving it a bid for birdie, but he just got a great putt now from where he's at. Eric missed that par putt.
Good putt, Gary. There you go.
Good shot, bud.
All right, we got Gary there. He saved that par going underneath that tree. That was a good putt. So Gary ends up getting a bogey on hole number 10. Gordon will make par. And then Ron will also make par with this putt as well. So for the round, Ron's still -1 in the lead for the round. Eric is at +1, Gary +2, Gordon +3. Gordon has a lot of ground to cover because he kind of messed up on those bogeys on the front. Hole 11 is a par 3, 271 feet uphill throw. So got Ron on the tee box. Gives it a go. And it just keeps on turning over to the right. Gordon's up next. And Gordon keeps his throw low. He goes up there. He's actually short and to the left. Gary gives it a go. Trying to play a little flex shot. I think the wind probably got it. It appears to be nose up disc. And Eric hits that tree right in the front as well. So Eric is first. Throws it up there. Unfortunately, he hits that tree or that tree stump that's right in front of it. But he's still not in a bad position though. Gary tosses it up. He'll have a good distance for a putt there. Gordon also has a nice putt to get it close. And you see Ron on the right side of the screen giving it a go. Good bid. And it lands softly. It's really important, especially on these uphill basket positions. So Eric makes that in there. He gets a par. Gary, par. Gordon makes that for a par. And Ron will also get a par with this putt right here. So you can see the wind though on the mountainside now. You can definitely see the flag blowing on that basket. So for the event, Ron's at even, Eric's at -1, Gary's even, and Gordon is at +2. So now we move on to hole number 12. Hole 12 is a par 3, 183 feet. It does go downhill a little bit, but you just can't see the flag. It's just going to be right there in the middle of the screen, down low.
Be careful, that's
So Ron hits that tree. Looked like it was tracking nicely to go straight toward that basket. Just the tree got in the way. Okay, Gordon throws that overhand throw. You can see that disc kind of kick back and flare back to the right. Gary throws a little hyzer throw there. Eric, nice and smooth. And it actually will fall nicely. Ron tosses it up. Gets pretty close. Gordon for his birdie putt, and he's short. But it does land softly. Gary makes his putt and makes a birdie. Eric comes in behind him, going for his birdie putt, and also Eric makes his birdie. Ron will make this putt here, and he will get a par. So after hole 12, Ron is with a -1, Eric is even, Gary is a +1, Gordon's +3. Now hole 13 is a par 3, 320 feet. What's interesting about this one is the landing green for that basket is up and perched up on some rocks. And it's like you have to clear this valley down there on the bottom. And Eric does his overhand throw. He gets down there as well. Ron is up next. Ron sends it down the middle. You can see that wind affecting that disc, pushing it up and down. You can even see the flag down there on the basket really moving. Ron has a nice throw. He will have a birdie putt from there. Next up is Gordon. Gordon sends it down, and it drops to the left. But he's still down there. Eric is first. Does a little toss up, hits the rocks, and fortunately, it stays right there. Gary throws it up and hits some bush there and kicks to the left, but he still has a putt. There goes Ron. He's going to make a bid for his birdie. Sends
putt,
it up,
Ron.
and he makes his birdie. And Gordon is to the left, and he's up next. Gordon gives it a go. Comes up short. But he's still up there on that platform on the green. Gary gives it a toss here. And it appeared that he did hit a branch on one of them bushes. And it caused the disc to push to the left and go down. We got Eric here for his par putt.
Thank you, bud.
And he makes his par putt. Gordon made that putt there. He made a par. And Gary made his putt, and he got a bogey. So Ron's -2, Eric's even, Gary's +2, Gordon is still +3. Now we move on to hole number 14, 240 feet. And you are throwing over a canyon on this one here, and it's up. It's kind of hard to see that basket. I'm using my actual iPhone to record this, so it's not the best high quality, but it does okay. So Ron throws it, gets up to the left. Right there you can kind of see the basket when I zoomed in. Eric's up next. Boy, he throws the thing way up there and it flexes back toward the basket, but it's short. It's on that lower level. Got Mr. Gordon up next. Throws it, pulls it to the right there, trying to play the drop. And I think it hit a tree and just falls down right there. Next up is Gary. Looks like it was going straight and also just starts falling hard to the left. Now, I was recording here so that way you guys can kind of see the ascent. And it was pretty steep. And I'm trying to record. Trying to keep my breath from being too hard. So that was Gary, tosses it down. He stays on the upper level there. That's for his putt. Next up, behind that tree, you see the arm is Mr. Ron. Now pay attention to that flag and how it's actually blowing pretty straight, right? So Ron's going to give a birdie bid here, and the wind pushes it right there. Next up, we have Mr. Eric going for his birdie putt here. And unfortunately, Mr. Eric misses that birdie putt, but he will get his par. Gordon, that's where he actually threw it up a while ago. He's got a par there. Ron also makes his par. Eric will get his par, and so will Gary. You know, following these guys, playing with Gordon. Gordon is a good guy, a really good guy. I really enjoy playing with him and Ron, and all the guys that were on my other cards. But Gordon, when he gets to his disc, he don't mess around. You don't waste time. So through hole 14, now we're heading on to hole 15. Hole 15 is a par 3, 395 feet. We do have out of bounds on the right side of this little roadway. Ron is up first. Ron gives it a throw. Remember, the wind was pushing hard from left to right. It may have affected his disc because the disc went straight and it kind of just tailed off to the right there a little bit. So he did go out of bounds on that throw. Eric's on the box. Throws it down overhand, got a little flex on it, but the wind may have also affected that disc because it kind of fall out of the sky from that point. Next up is Mr. Gordon. He gives it a good throw. He rides that right side of the fairway or the road, and it does come into the left. It's just kind of hard to see. And last we got Gary. Gary throws it, gets it to come down back toward the fairway, if we want to call it fairways. Okay, Ron has a good throw. Gets it down there, gets it toward the basket. Gary's up next. You can see the flag there in the middle of the screen. Gary throws it down there, the forehand. Has a good throw. Eric is up next. Throws it over and around, and it kind of slides up there. Give him a good putt from there. And that was Gordon. So that was Ron's bogey putt because he had an out of bounds penalty stroke. Now we got Eric. He's going to be putting for his par here. And he misses right. You know, as I was watching Eric, you know, he was missing some putts that I'm sure he made throughout the tournament. And just today, they were not landing. And so I'm sure, understandably, he was frustrated with this putting. Gordon puts it in there. He gets a par. Gary also will putt and make a par as well. So we had Gordon with the par, Ron with the bogey, Eric with the bogey, and Gary with the par. So we have, for the event, Ron's even, Eric's -1, Gary's even, and Gordon is +2. Hole 16. Hole 16 is par 3, 322 feet with out of bounds on the roadway. And this is going over a canyon as well. Man, unfortunately at this point, my phone memory went full. And I was trying to delete, you know, old video files as quickly as possible to free up some space. And I got little snippets of here and there where my phone was trying to clear space. But unfortunately, you guys, I didn't have, you know, memory left on my phone. And I missed the full 16, 17, and 18, and even the playoff holes. So I will go over the scores with you though. In hole 16, Gordon got a par, Ron par, Eric par, and Gary got a par as well. For the event now, Ron's even, Eric's -1, Gary is even, and Gordon is +2. So now hole 17 is a par 3, 245 foot downhill. We got OB to the right off the road and OB long. And so this was me trying to just record whatever I could. And it looks like Ron missed that putt there. Ron also went out of bounds on hole 17. And Ron ended up getting a double bogey. Eric got a par, Gary got a par, and Mr. Gordon got a birdie. So now for the event, Ron is +2, Eric is -1, Gary is even, and Gordon is +1. It is tight. It is tight. It's coming to this finish here. It's a par 3, 455 feet downhill. This was a very nice, beautiful hole to finish with. It has a really big drop off. The guys are giving each other the last hole, you know, fist bumps, high fives. And Gordon, he threw that one, and he had such a great throw, and he ended up getting about 30 feet. But he did miss his birdie putt. Eric missed his par putt, and so we ended up having a tie at the end of this hole, which pushed us off into a playoff. So at the end of regulation play, Gary ended up even for the tournament, and Eric ended up even for the tournament as well, which pushed the playoff. Gordon had a +1 for the tournament, and Ron ended with a +2 for the tournament. It was a great round. It really was, and as you can see, the scores reflect here. It was a grind, but it went. And so Gary and Eric went to hole number 2. Gary threw his famous roller and had a great roll. He parked it and was able to capture the victory. Congratulations, Mr. Gary. So Gary Collier from Dallas, Texas is our MA50 champion for the Tim Selinske Masters Major. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video coverage, and I'm sorry about the technical difficulty. Bye-bye.